I really feel like Ariana positions right now. Like I feel like switching the positions for you. That feels like this right now. I need a bad sleep. Addison Rae.
From the stars, I came from the stars. Ship me out this world, you know I feel it in the miles, yeah. Calm it down, run the shit with ya. Keep my focus and you know I'm always up to fire.
She knows the deal, get in this bed, meet man that's still. Picking them out and I'm knocking them down. Plus I'm nuts with affinity rounds. When she gon' miss me, I'm leaving her now. All she hears is the wind.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Filter with me, your host, Nastasia Nicolau. I am with expert pie maker, TikToker extraordinaire, Annabelle, who's going to so graciously teach me how to bake a pie today because Lord knows I am not the best with baking. I can't even make like pre-made home cookies. I burn them every time. So I'm very intimidated by this. I want to know how you even got into baking. How did you get into pie making? Where did this begin?
Yeah, so I always had a passion for baking. I loved baking. I would make a raspberry pie every Thanksgiving with my mom. And we would always make raspberry, so we're making raspberry today.
Oh, we're gonna make a raspberry pie.
So good.
I am blown away by your following that just loves to watch you make pies. I love the videos, so I really would love if you could teach me how to do it. I don't think I'm gonna be an expert pie maker after this, but I'm gonna try.
We're gonna make it less intimidating, for sure.
Thank you. What are we gonna need? I know I wanna put on my fancy apron because I'm here for the fashion moment.
That is adorable. I love it.
I tried to dress like almost like a 50s housewife situation.
That's so cute.
I think this is what my contribution is. You're gonna be just doing most of the cooking, and I'll do most of the looks.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
All right. What ingredients do we need? I know we have to have a lot of flour.
Yes.
We got
lots of flour.
A lot of flour. How many cups of flour?
We need 2.5 cups of flour. This just for the pie crust. 2.5 cups of flour.
Okay.
If you're using unsalted butter, a teaspoon of salt, or you can just use salted and omit the salt. 2 sticks of butter or a cup of butter, and a tablespoon of sugar.
And then a tablespoon of the sugar. Okay, so that is for the pie crust. So that's what we're gonna be baking first.
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So we got some butter. She said the trick is to have the butter freezing cold. Apparently that is a little trick of the trade of how you make your pie crust not as doughy and more flaky.
Yep, yeah. If you want a flaky pie crust, rather than, if you use soft butter, it's going to just
doughy.
completely incorporate it into the flour.
Okay.
And it's just, it's going to be just one thing. You don't want it to be one thing. You want to see the butter and the flat, like you want to see it all.
Yes,
That is what we're going. And we're doing, and when measuring flour, which I didn't do this for a very long time, and it explains a lot, this is the best way to measure it, is the scoop and swoop.
Scoop and swoop.
Because otherwise it gets too compacted if you're just like shoving the cup in there.
Okay, and
It's
then
just, this keeps it airy.
Level it out and throw it in there. So we have our butter. We're cutting her here.
Ooh, yeah, this is super solid. So yeah, you can, if you take your butter straight out of the fridge, that is good. If you have it out, then pop it in the freezer for a second before you cut it. This is very cold, which is awesome, but already the outside, I have the warmest hands.
Okay.
So it is already melting onto my fingers.
So as you do this, I want to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
So as far as TikTok goes, what is the secret to getting 500,000 views after one day of posting?
I honestly have no idea how that.
TikTok headquarters on your side? Like, how do we
it feels
go
like
TikTok
it.
famous?
Well, okay, so at the very beginning, like just that random video that did well, it was super, super satisfying, I guess. I was using this.
Oh,
And
what is that?
It is, I honestly still call it the wrong thing, and I actually usually call it a 5-wheel cutter, but it actually is 6, so that's embarrassing. I just noticed that.
Okay.
But it's just to make strips so you can make like a lattice pie, lattice design on top.
For those of you who don't know, I thought she was saying lettuce at first. I didn't know what lattice meant. But lattice apparently, do I put these in here?
Yep.
So lattice apparently is that little pretty like looking lace almost thing that goes over the top of the pies. It's like the fancy.
It looks like a grid.
A grid, okay, not lace.
Pretty much.
See, I'm like lace. Yeah, I don't know. Lettuce, lattice, who knows? But that is the thing that goes over top of the pie.
like your weaving pie.
Yeah, and that's
Pie
that
crusts.
tool that you were saying. So that will come in handy later.
Yeah.
But for the crust, so you're now using the pie cutter. Or
Yeah, the pastry cutter.
the pastry cutter.
This saves you a ton of time because if you do it, I used to do it, I would just literally
Use your
squeeze each piece
If you
of
don't
butter. It
have
takes
it
forever. Yeah, it's like
that.
the size of a pea is
Okay.
the biggest that you want
Got it.
because you don't want just a pool of butter. Like if you leave a giant thing of butter, that's not going to be great either, but you want to leave that because it's going to get flaky when
Okay.
you bake it.
How long usually does it take you from start to finish for the whole operation?
If I am like fulfilling orders and going quickly, obviously, because
Yeah.
I'll have a lot to do at one time usually.
Yeah.
It depends on the baking time, of course. Without the baking time, usually about an hour.
About an
to do
hour
everything. But if
from
I'm
start to
taking my
finish?
time, it could take me 2-3 hours. It depends on the level of detail I want.
For a pie.
Yeah, I take
That
my
is
time.
2 or 3 hours that I don't have. I feel like that is, I do have the hours, but I don't know if I want to spend it kneading and doughing. That's why everyone's obsessed with your videos, watching you make it on TikTok. I think people save your videos thinking that they're gonna do it, but they're probably like me where they save your videos thinking that they're going to, but they never really will. But they just would rather watch you do it instead.
That's a lot of people like in the past have said, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to make this," and then like I'm like, "You're not gonna make
You're
it.
not
I don't
gonna make
believe you."
it.
But with
Yeah.
I did like the 10 days of Thanksgiving pies, and I like had people messaging me constantly after I posted my first. It was a apple pie with a cinnamon roll crust.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's
Love
very
apple
good. And I had people messaging me like with pictures of their pies, and honestly, I cried every time I got a new one because I was like, it just is so weird that like I shared something that people were doing, you know?
Yeah.
Like that it is honestly what makes it worth it. Because I mean, obviously, social media gets frustrating. It's a lot. TikTok is, I love it, but it's also maybe one of the most toxic social media platforms out there.
Why do you say that?
I mean, honestly, it's just like, it's so easy to like so quickly see so many people to compare yourself to. And even like, I feel like I have a decent amount of followers, but it's still
Yeah.
like, I'll see somebody else post something and it'll get more likes. And I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like, it's just,
So
And it's so random.
Other cooking accounts.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying. Like other cooking, like I don't know, Food Network or different cooking chefs and accounts
Yeah.
who do the same thing as you. So I
Yeah.
guess that's where you kind of, because it's a very niche topic. It is to be having pie making on TikTok. I
Yeah.
haven't really figured out. My friends and I joke. We're like, what's our niche gonna be? Are we gonna be dancers? Are we gonna be makeup people? Like, what are we gonna do? So it's cool that you found that thing, but then obviously
Yeah.
that can be a little bit stressful when comparing yourself to these other people who have probably been doing it even longer than you or
Yeah.
do it full time. Has this become your full-time job?
no.
No.
It has not. It
So
is
it's
still
just something you still do on the side?
Yeah. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I could just quit my job and open up a pie shop. And,
Yeah. Is that the
and
dream?
do that. I honestly, right now, it is not the dream. Just because I love it so much, but right now I can't see myself doing it.
Yeah.
And knowing that I would be happy doing it full
Yeah.
time, because right now I'm like, this is my stress reliever. Like, what
Okay.
happens when I add stress to the thing that's supposed to be taking it
Therapeutic.
away? So
Makes sense.
So that worries me sometimes, but then I'm also like, I mean, I could just do it, and I could live in a cottage and have a cow that gives me the milk I need for the pies, and
Live
I
your whole
grow
farm
everything.
life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So after we knead this all up, what is the next step? What are you doing
Okay, next is water.
Okay.
Just make sure.
Oh, and this is where you were saying you have to have it like freezing cold. She was like, we need ice water. And I was like, I like a girl who knows her temperature of water. My personal preference for water is room temp. I know that that's a little bit controversial. A lot of people don't like room temp water. But once you move to LA, that's how you become. And I stand by it still.
So 6 to 8 tablespoons.
Okay.
Which is a fourth to half a cup. If you did not know, 16 tablespoons equals a cup. So just
put
add
the
the
water in
water, and you're just gonna, again, you don't want to, not again, I haven't said this, don't overmix it.
Don't overmix.
That is going to also be an issue. That's going to get
Don't
you,
get too crazy on the mixing.
you're going to get the butter too warm, and you're going to end up with what we didn't want in the first place, which was one big thing of the same thing. We don't want that.
So this is what this looks like, and it's ready. Ready to go.
Okay, now we're going to wrap it up, divide it in half.
Okay, we have to wrap her up, wrap herself in some plastic wrap, so have some saran wrap nearby. Okay.
It's
Beautiful.
ready.
All right, so we can wrap it up like this?
Yep, just wrap it up
All right,
and then
and
twist
then-
it on top.
And then we stick it in the freezer for how long?
You can put it in the fridge, if you have time, put it in the fridge for like 30 minutes, freezing, just it's gonna get the outer colder first.
Okay.
And that is not awesome.
Okay,
But
so
if
fridge.
you need to do it in a pinch, then you can put it in the freezer for like 10-15 minutes, but watch it, because if it's too hard to roll out, it's just too hard to
It's
roll
gonna
out,
be
and it's
like a
not
rock.
fun. Yeah, and you can leave it out, but then again, you want to roll it out while it's cold, so.
All right, I'm gonna stick this in the fridge then for 30 minutes. So because we're doing a raspberry pie, we need 3 bags of, how much is this so people know? Let's see. We have 3 10-ounce bags of raspberries.
And we're only
frozen.
using a half of one of them, so it's 5 cups of raspberries.
5 cups. Do you always do recipes based off of ones you find online or other people are doing on TikTok, or are you coming up with them yourself?
It's been a mix. So when I first started out, I obviously had no idea what I was doing. And so I just would look up recipes, and then I taste tested them
Yeah.
and realized, oh, this needs more sugar, this needs more flour, maybe this could use some nutmeg.
So then this is the flour.
Yeah, and I don't do the scoop and swoop because I want a little more flour, and then it's also a little more than a third. I'm not gonna shake that off either because
Okay.
you don't want a runny pie.
And how
some-
much was that
That
you
was
put
a
in?
third of a cup, and I'm actually
Third of a
also
cup.
gonna add a tablespoon.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll also add a little bit of cornstarch if I feel like the raspberries are just not gonna behave as nicely. If they're like really juicy. And I
What
always,
does the cornstarch do?
it's gonna do what the flour does, which is thicken it.
Oh.
Thicken it up. Help it,
Thick.
help it
like
set.
The thick. You know that song? The thick, 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 thick. The thick, 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 thick. No? Okay. So that's our filling, right?
Yes.
We're
You
good
can
there?
Just do a little mix it around. I always use frozen and let it, just because it's so much easier. And fresh raspberries are really expensive.
Yes.
So that I just am used to this, I guess.
Frozen is easy, cheaper. We love it.
It is. It's easy. And I mean, fresh is, it's going to taste a little bit better, most likely, because they're fresh, but the tartness is really what I look for in the pie, and frozen keeps it really well, which is not the case for blueberries, by the way. If you're going to use frozen blueberries over fresh blueberries, add extra lemon juice to whatever recipe you are using.
Okay, pro tip.
Like, it just like kind of defrosts into the sugar and the flour and gets really thick. And you can tell that's going to set nicely.
Like I've done part of this. I'll act like I've done something. So now that we have our cold dough, we're gonna roll it out, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what do we gotta do?
Roll it out.
Roll it out. Oh my gosh, yes, this is the action. This is what I've been waiting for all day.
Ooh. And I do not worry about adding too much flour. Like if it's sticking,
Okay.
add more. And then what I do is roll it a couple times, turn it. So you are making sure it's not sticking to the bottom either.
Awesome. And if you guys wonder why I have a phone, I'm currently in the process of making her world famous TikToks. I feel very special.
And that's actually something that's really fun. That I always have fun looking at like analytics on my videos, because then
yeah.
like randomly it will be like 5% United States, 80% Ukraine, or something, like something just like
you
completely random.
So you can actually see where your followers are coming from.
Yeah.
And look at your analytics. Who inspires you as far as chefs or cooking people go? Like who inspires you?
I mean, I definitely would love to be as put together as Martha Stewart seems. I feel like she
Yes,
probably is also
Martha.
not actually put together, because I feel like nobody really is, but
she
seems,
like
for sure.
she has her life pretty much.
exactly.
Yeah, she
So
seems like she
I
knows
just
what
love
she's
that.
doing.
And I mean, I love Gordon Ramsay. I just think he's funny.
He's fabulous. There was this one video where you had like turtle doves, and it was actual like birds for the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
So you just have all these different cutouts. And
Yes. Yeah, I have a lot, and then I also, I think about the whole process. So when I'm doing, I guess right now, the 12 Days of Christmas Pie series.
Yeah.
And so I'll think about it, like what I want to do, and then
for the theme.
Yeah. And so I came up with this series because I did the first one last year, and then I was like, I should have probably finished it, but I did not.
Yeah, consistency is the one thing that's really hard with social media. How do you stay consistent? Do you have like a posting schedule, or do you just make it whenever you're feeling inspired?
I honestly just make it when I feel like it, and
Yeah.
which gets me in trouble sometimes, because like sometimes I'll like be posting a lot, not like the Thanksgiving 10 pies. Like I actually did that every day for 10 days, and then I just like wasn't feeling it as much after that, and so I like did really well then, and then I just was like kind of lost the motivation.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes.
Not
sometimes.
all of us can be Charlie D'Amelio's whipping out 10 dances a day, you know?
I mean, it's crazy. I don't understand how people stay so incredibly motivated, but.
And this is the pinching, right? Now
yes.
We're gonna get to pinch the top.
Yeah. If your pie crust is not sticking to other pie crust, just a little bit of water will do the trick. I like to put a little extra on the rims so that we can fold under.
Okay.
So that we just have a really, really thick outer crust with these like
little ridges.
With the pie crust. You can like just shove your finger.
How do you do it?
Finger right in. So you're gonna take your pointer finger, index, of one, put it in the ridge, and then just pinch with your other thumb and index.
Like so. Mine does not look like hers.
Here. Point. These go around. Your thumb and your pointer go around that. So you're gonna go like that.
Like this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys. I can't even do this pinching situation.
You got it.
Like this?
Yeah. Just push in.
Oh my god.
And pinch around.
You would think this is rocket science for me. So now we can just take this and pour in.
Yeah. We're good to go.
Yay! Yes. Amazing. Okay, got that down. Oh, I can see all the sugar in the bottom. So then do you just kind of lay it out?
Yeah, I just flatten it a little bit so it's even all over, and then we can do the decorations.
Nice.
Or the top crust, which I call decorations.
Wow.
You don't need a lot because it's going to stretch out.
So this do you just lay it over?
So you pull it.
Oh, how pretty. So can I just start cutting out a star?
Yeah. Oh, where did it go? Here.
Yay.
I'll take this back.
Been waiting for this all day. Okay, here we go. Here's our little star. Look how cute. And you can do whatever you want. So where do you usually place your little decorations?
I usually just go around the edge with something like this, like a little message, if we're putting a message in the middle. I'll do the edges first with whatever, stars, snowflakes, in this case, flowers in the spring. And then go back in with the whatever text we're adding.
So we can even cut out like little things, and we're just gonna cut out all of the letters that say Happy New Year and just kind of place them out so you guys get the gist. And then we pop it in the oven once we're done.
375 for 25 minutes with aluminum foil covering the edges, and then another 25 minutes after you take the aluminum foil off.
Okay guys, well thank you so much for joining us. You can see, for time's sake, we had our pie. This is what it will look like. We still have to let it set, you said, so that we can actually like cut into it. So it's a little bit too hot right now. But this is our finished look. I think that we did a great job. Well, you did a great job. But thank you so much for teaching me how to make a pie. I think I'll have to continue to follow your TikToks. I don't think I have this memorized upstairs, but I think it turned out great, and I absolutely love what you do with your TikTok, and all the haters need to stop. She's making pies for you guys, so cut her some slack. What can we look forward to seeing on your TikTok coming up? More pie making, of course? Yeah, I'll finish my, hopefully, 12 days of Christmas pies. I'll have some fun New Year's ones. Sometimes I do a sheet pie with a countdown, so yeah. We'll see. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, guys, this is Belle's Pies on TikTok. Don't forget to go look her up. And if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye! If you're dying to know more about your favorite influencers, make sure to give us a like and leave a comment suggesting who we should interview next. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials and subscribe to our channel for more stories behind the filter.